Good day, Hey, Gabriel here with the Icon Capture GPS Intelligence Brief for June 3rd, 2026. All right, Procurement Portfolio Managers, we need to talk because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Before we start, this is the last brief before this terrain window narrows. The GPS Portfolio Realignment Review cohort closes after this brief. 5,275 fresh solicitations. Pursuit Portfolio Realignment, that signal is what opened this session, and it will not repeat the same way tomorrow. Code GPS 433 at the-icon.ai capture. Now, let's read the board, so let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced 5,275 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov. 3987 legislative signals, 0 federal hiring signals across 0 agencies. And all of that is happening while market BCL is 0%, with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. Looking at the latest opportunity flow, there's an intriguing dynamic at play, with 5,275 opportunities surfacing in just 168 hours. The sheer volume is noteworthy. Yet, the Board of Contracting and Logistics BCL percentage is sitting at 0, indicating a potential bottleneck where intentions aren't translating into actionable postings. This suggests that while there's a flood of possibilities, the accessibility might be more of an illusion than a reality. We see top opportunities like the Claims Core Combined Synopsis, Solicitation, and the Comprehensive Long-Term Environmental Action Navy CLEAN without specified amounts, pointing to a lack of clarity on what the financial stakes are. When you dive into the capture ticker, it quickly becomes apparent that the 0 stalled opportunities further complicate the picture. Normally, you'd expect some headwind in the form of delays or deferrals. But here, the absence of stalled projects might reflect an unusual fluidity or, conversely, a lack of depth in the recorded data. This is where the Capture Terminal helps in understanding if we're facing actual transparency or if there are systemic gaps in reporting and tracking mechanisms. For those managing this book, the board is signaling a moment to recalibrate strategies. With no legislative movements and a complete absence of executive actions, the inertia might be due to external policy stagnation rather than internal inefficiencies. The interpretation? Potential players should be prepared for a pivot, ensuring that resources and attention can quickly shift as soon as any blockage starts to give way. Turning to secondary signals, we find a landscape devoid of terrain holes, hiring activity, and court opinions. This quietude is telling. For procurement portfolio managers, the absence of new hiring and legal shifts suggests a market currently undervaluing certain risks or opportunities. This could mean that areas traditionally considered volatile might now present stable, if temporary, prospects for strategic positioning. Interestingly, with no lobbying clusters emerging, the usual back-channel maneuvers are either paused or being conducted under the radar. This could indicate that significant policy or regulatory shifts aren't immediately on the horizon, giving managers some breathing room to focus on operational efficiencies rather than defensive plays. It's a rare moment where proactive engagements might yield more than reactive defense. Market mispricing can often arise from such scenarios where traditional signals are missing or muted. Managers who read this tape know that when the usual indicators are silent, it's time to dig deeper into the less obvious data points. This might be the perfect opportunity to explore niche sectors or to prepare for an agile response to sudden shifts when the logjam eventually breaks. Ultimately, the current combination of signals suggests that while the market may appear dormant, it's precisely this stillness that can offer the calm before the storm. Savvy managers will position themselves to capitalize on mispricings now before the market corrects and opportunities become glaringly obvious to all. The procurement market is currently characterized by high opportunity volume with minimal operational disruptions, as evidenced by 5,275 active opportunities and 0 stalled agencies or terrain holes. Are you effectively balancing portfolio discipline against the sheer volume of the pipeline? How are you mitigating risks with a 0% BCL to ensure stability in your procurement strategies? What measures are in place to capitalize on the macro terrain overview while maintaining agility in response to market shifts? Our conviction remains firm. A disciplined, data-driven approach will leverage current market conditions for optimal procurement outcomes, ensuring both resilience and growth. Last thing before I sign off, and I want to be direct. The GPS Portfolio Realignment Review cohort closes after this brief. When this window closes, answer A. The terrain that justified it moves on. Tomorrow's signal will be different. The next session will read a different board. If the brief we just walked through gave you a reason to act, now is the time. Code GPS 33. communities.theicon.ai/capture the-govcon-elite. 6.5 million records, 4 verticals ready, provenance traced from bill to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon or commercial portfolio. I drop a new GPS brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free, and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow. It looks like you've been inactive for a while.